Welcome to the She Wins podcast. I'm your host, Heather Sumlin, and this is your aha moments from my time with Sophie Burzynski. She's Miss Alabama USA 2023, about to give up her title soon. And I had several takeaways from my time with Sophie. The first thing that I wrote down was never prejudge others. You never know what someone else is going through. And she mentioned that you always give someone two chances. You give them a second chance to make that first impression, because she said sometimes people might have been going through something that you didn't realize was going on in their life. And if you met them again and gave them a second chance, you might actually find that you connect with them. And she says the second chance should always be in their own environment. I really, really liked that. She talks about the need for asking for help. And we've talked about that before on the podcast and on the Patreon channel about asking for help when you're struggling. But she talked about asking for help in business, making the networking a priority in your life. She is a professional videographer. She has her own business. She's a very successful business. While she was in college, it started in high school. And so she has had to reach out and ask for help from time to time. And by having a really strong network and building that network and actually fostering those relationships, that's helped her be successful and have people to go to when she needs it. She talks about as a title holder, and maybe even also in her business, that you never know the impact you can have on someone else. And so really being intentional with building those relationships and making those connections, because you never know the impact you might have on another. The last thing that I'm going to talk about from my interview with her is she mentioned that you don't have to be understood by everyone. And I think that was for me, that's just so profound, because oftentimes we're seeking that validation for other people. We're seeking that opportunity to be understood by everybody, but it's really okay if not everyone understands you. That's really not the goal. Maybe the goal should be to try to understand others and to connect with others and to find value in others, but not everybody's going to understand you, and that's okay. Thank you so much for watching. Like this if you do. Share it with a friend. And if you're not a Patreon member, I recommend that you join, because there's more brilliance where that came from Sophie and so many other of my guests. I have a Patreon channel for women. I have one for dog handlers. I have one for pageant participants. Please join. I would love to have you so that we can learn more together.